Because I think if that was the case, then that would be
I'm gonna have to find studies for this. I can't keep talking out of my ass.
Okay.
Okay. Because I know this is true, but I have no like empirical evidence to back this up.
If I want to go look at somebody getting their head cut off by ISIS, I should be able to do it.
All right, what about self-harm advocacy?
That's
or
insane.
Suicide advocacy.
That's insane.
All right.
That should be banned without question.
Really? What if it's artistic?
No, I don't agree with Tom's distinction with art. I don't think he even agrees with it. I don't think if I showed him like artistic pedophilia, he would think it's okay.
Wait,
I think adding the label artistic to thing doesn't.
Saying hold on. When I say self-harm, saying that I would be okay with it in art, and you being like, oh well, he wouldn't be okay with pedophilia. Those are not even nearly the same
I'm saying you're.
Well, there's also there are
art
movies
qualifier.
that talk. There are movies and there are shorts and stuff and songs that talk about pedophilia. There's that
Mr. Girls video.
That I Love Little Girls song from back in the 80s that actually is talking about pedophilia.
I'm in Minecraft looking for diamonds. No, you're in Minecraft looking for diamonds. I'm in the mine shaft looking for miners.
Yeah.
No, it's you're playing Minecraft down in a cave looking for diamonds. That's funny. I'm in that same cave looking for miners.
It's my attraction to miners.
It's a good song. It's a really good song.
It's a bass
It is
song.
such a banger. But no, there's that song from the 80s called I Like Little, or what is it? I Like Little Girls, something like that. That whole song is about a pedophile.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with art depicting pedophilia as well. I'm just saying that's not like a.
So why did you make such a big deal about it?
Because it doesn't have anything to do with the topic. You brought it up as an argument.
I know.
So let's get back on.
Because I was critiquing your art qualifier.
So
I don't think something being art makes a difference.
Let's get this back to
suicide.
It
makes all the difference. Well, so this is what I talked to. I'm sorry, but this is what I talked to Quibbles about the other day, where he keeps saying Mr. Girl's actually a pedophile, and I'm like, what makes you think that? And he's like, because he has a song called "I'm a Pedophile." Duh.
No, I'm not that fucking stupid. I'm just saying the consequence.
But you're saying other people.
No. I'm saying it's bad because of the consequence of the media. I don't think the media being artistic or not will have an impact on the consequence. Thus, I don't feel like that's a valid qualifier. I don't think the qualifier makes a difference.
Wait, you're saying it does or doesn't have?
Does not have an impact.
Okay, so you are also okay with it depicted in art?
No, I'm not okay.
Then what? I'm not understanding.
Okay, by you saying if it's artistic, I would be fine with it. If it's not, I wouldn't be. I disagree with that distinction. I don't think the label of art is a valid qualifier to change the consequence of the action. Thus, it doesn't make it less bad or good.
Really?
That's it. Yes.
What?
I don't think it's a significant difference. Maybe there is a difference, but it's not significant. It's not like big enough to.
Okay. So if I film myself killing somebody versus I listen to a Eminem song about killing somebody.
That's not the same media, so it doesn't count.
What? That's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. Is that artistic media is going to be a completely different landscape.
If I saw two videos, one of you killing someone and another one of you fake killing someone, but it looks the same, it doesn't matter whether one's art or not. It's the same thing.
That's dumb, dude. So like every 007 movie is super messed up because there's somebody dying in it. Like that's insane, dude.
No, because it's a movie and you know it's a movie.
That's
I'm saying
art.
If you didn't know it was a movie.
That's what I'm saying. It's art.
No, I'm saying there's no difference between the two. One is just fake and the other one is, but you have no idea it's fake.
I'm sorry. You're saying this is an example of something? You're giving me a hypothetical?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying if I saw two videos, one of you is fake and the other one isn't, but I had no idea, it wouldn't change anything. But if I know one's a movie, I know there's nobody dying. So it kind of like changes it.
Yeah, no, I don't think it matters. What?
Do you think there would be a difference?
I don't have a problem with people's deaths or suicides being on the internet. So I would like to know what the issue is with that in order for us to make a distinction between one and the other.
Wait, you don't think there's a problem with you just post?
I watched a
posting it
video
on
the other
YouTube of
guy
you
where a
killing
guy
someone?
gets arrested, and
Yeah.
and they sit him down and he asks for a cup of water. The cops walk away to go get him a cup of water, and he pulls a gun out of his back pocket and shoots himself in the head.
Yeah, I don't think it's good that people are watching that. I think
Why?
that desensitizes people
Why?
to death, which makes death less bad, which isn't good for society.
I disagree. I think it actually
You
makes
think it's
people,
good?
I do. I think it makes people realize more the reality of shit that's going on, because we protect people from the gruesome reality that's actually going on in the world around them. And I think that's a problem, because what people end up getting instead is they get this saturation of depictions of death and shit from movies, which is unrealistic. And they
Hey, just make movies more realistic then.
and they become desensitized to it that way.
But
if they see
you're
the
gonna
real
have the
thing,
same outcome, dude.
you see
Okay,
the
wait,
real thing in real life, because I've witnessed it. I've seen people shot. I've seen people
I'll meet you
killed,
halfway.
and it's
I
fucking
think it's
brutal.
fine.
It's gruesome.
I think it's fine if you have a fully developed brain.
Yeah, I
But if
don't
you
think
have-
anybody would be in favor of children watching.
If
this
you're
stuff.
below, no. If you're below the age of like 25, I think it's bad.
Okay.
When your brain is fully developed, roundabout.
It doesn't have to be fully developed in order to like
Dude.
function properly.
Just for
That's
safety.
ridiculous.
No, I'm
People-
not saying it
people-
doesn't
people
function properly. It
grow
just means
up-
it's softer.
I
People
understand,
grow
but I'm
up
saying
and-
that like the last like small percentage of brain development that's left from 18 to 25 is not big enough a deal for people to react that
Like,
differently.
Wait, I'm not coming from a point of like I've never said like I'm a live leak 4chaner, okay? I've seen it. I don't think it's a good thing that I've seen it though. Like I've purposely sensitized myself more to those things nowadays because I don't think it's a good thing to be desensitized to like people dying. I don't think it's like a flex to watch like a live leak video of like a Chinese factory, like the roof falling and like chopping off a Chinese person's head.
Okay, so
I don't
let's
think
say
it's like
I'm
fine to be fine. with
I've
that.
watched lots of videos of people killing themselves and killing other people,
Yeah,
and I am
same.
fully desensitized to it, and I don't. It's just like doing it in a video game now. What's the issue here?
I think don't you think that's kind of like fucked?
Why?
Like, don't you think that's like kind of bad?
Like why?
Like, don't you
though?
think that's like psychological impacts? Because it desensitizes us to murder more, which means we care less about murder, which means people will probably be murdered more as a society if we cared less about
I don't
murder.
think we're gonna go start murdering people because we're desensitized to murder.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
think so
you
either.
will. I'm not saying you
people
will.
in
But I'm saying
general.
it's going
I
to be
don't think
more
we are
okay.
going to do this.
No,
I'm just saying
I
it's
don't,
more.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
so how come? So how come when Europeans visit America and they see the violence, they have a way more visceral reaction or a way more like negative reaction than when Americans are presented with the
Wait,
violence that
you're
they
just
have
saying-
every
Dude,
day.
Europeans actually see a lot more, like a lot of their
Absolutely
news.
not true.
Well, no.
News
A lot
maybe.
a lot of the news is not nearly as censored as ours is. So they're seeing a lot more of the reality in news than we get to see.
They don't
Are
have like
they
as
turning
many
violent
school
because of it?
shootings or anything like that.
I mean, I've seen the news in Europe, so they don't
don't-
hide shit the way that we do.
but they
don't
still have like a
know.
ton of crime and everything, just like we do. But
No,
either
we
way,
have
hold
way
on.
less
Hold on,
crime.
it doesn't matter. You're appealing back to like something that's we've already passed. Like you, crap. I've lost where we were in the conversation. What was the last thing that you said?
Stop smoking.
No.
Us being more desensitized to violence.
Yes.
leads to
Okay.
more
So you're
violence.
trying to explain why I should care that I'm being desensitized, and your reasoning was
No, I'm not
because
saying that you
British
should care.
people or European. No, I'm saying why would I care? What is bad about being desensitized to death? I'm not going to go out killing people just because
Not
I'm
you
desensitized.
personally.
Again,
I'm
stop.
not talking-
It doesn't matter who it is.
He's the
We're saying
No, it
people
does.
in
We're
general.
talking about society.
Yes,
We're
I'm talking about
like, a
people in
social
general, and I'm saying why not me? Why not? If I am desensitized to it, why not me?
Because you're an individual, you might react to it differently. We're talking about like policy.
Okay,
We're
so
talking
you
about,
think
like, a
in general,
social impact.
some people
So use
might.
Tom as the hypothetical.
Well, no, yeah, he's saying some people might. But
No, I'm
either way,
saying a video of Tom killing someone, not like Tom him watching the video.
right? But no, you are
Tom
because
was the
we're
actor in
talking
the
about
video.
no, you're talking about other people seeing the video. That's your issue is people watching the video. So I want to know
No,
what
I
is the
brought up-
issue
I-
with watching the video and becoming
brought up the
desensitized to it.
Why do you think there are restrictions on watching people getting murdered and shit?
I don't think there should be.
Okay, but why do you think there are?
I don't know.
Do you think they're just arbitrary?
Yes. I think people
Really?
I think people have a visceral reaction to it, and so they automatically are just like, "Oh, this is horrible. We
Okay,
shouldn't let people see
why
this."
do people have a visceral reaction to it?
Because it's a very like a stigmatized thing in society.
Why?
Because
Why
we
is
don't
murder stigmatized?
because we don't want people to kill each other.
Exactly.
Like as humans, we're just naturally like violent creatures that will go out and kill people.
We're not naturally.
Yes,
Well, okay,
we-
sure, we can.
Mm,
Okay, but
yeah.
in society,
Yes, we are.
society makes us not
exactly,
violent.
and that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Is like what is that's because society doesn't want us to do that. We are like trained to have a visceral reaction to stuff like that.
Good, and we should.
And I'm asking why?
Wait,
Why? Like
but you're
what?
you're proving my point.
No,
By-
no,
by-
no, no, no.
by-
I'm
wait,
not
wait,
saying
stop,
that
stop,
people.
stop. You said people are naturally violent, so society grooms people into not being violent.
Yes.
Thus, watching violent content makes you more violent. If
Okay.
that's a way for society to groom us to not be more violent, and
We-
I don't think being violent is a good thing. I don't think
We-
society should be violent.
Okay, we like follow social rules and stuff like that though because of social pressure, not because of the visceral reaction that social pressure causes us to
That's
have.
fine.
You're talking
Okay.
about the biological response to it, but we're still going to follow laws and not kill people even if we're desensitized to it because we'll still
Yeah,
have the
we'll
social
probably
pressure.
Yeah, but the social pressure is weakened.
I don't
That's what I'm
think that
saying.
that's true.
Okay, but then that doesn't make then why does society ban violent video games? Or not violent video games. Why does society why does society try to make violence? Or why does society try to sensitize people more to violence?
They don't try to sensitize to them. They don't try to
Yeah, they don't.
sensitize them to violence. I'm saying that just happens to be a byproduct of the social,
Yeah.
Okay, what's the social? What's social?
the social forces. The like us, it being criminalized, it being something that's considered horribly immoral. You know, people who are murderers are considered the worst types of people. You know, we don't. Yeah, like it just in general, we have a social stigma for killing. And
Which I support.
it,
and I
me
think
too. I support the
depicting-
stigma
and
as
I
well.
think people being desensitized to violence goes against that stigma. It kind of destigmatizes it.
Yeah, I don't think it does. Because I think if that was the case,
I'm
then
gonna
that
have
would
to
be
find. I'm gonna have to find studies for this. I can't keep talking out my ass.
okay.
I can't because I know this is true, but I have no like empirical evidence to back this up.
I mean, we're all working off of personal theory right now.
Well,
so it's not that big.
I think that we would have a similar case with art. So like in movies where we do have very realistic deaths happening and very gruesome deaths happening in front of us. Like or like doctors who commonly like have to rip open humans and see blood all over the place and people dying in front of them. Like I don't think that they
Okay,
turn
I
into
found
serial killers or anything
evidence.
afterwards just because they've been desensitized to death.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not because
You
I
are
don't
saying
think-
that. You are
wait,
saying
wait,
that
wait.
people.
I don't think violent movies. Desensitize people to death.
No,
I
I
think
said a doctor
watching
who
death.
cuts people open and commonly sees blood everywhere and guts and people dying on his table. I don't think that just because they become desensitized to death that they're going to go out and become a serial killer.
So why are divorce? Okay, I'm not saying become a serial killer, but I'm saying it kind of fucks you up. Why are divorce rates among like people working in slaughterhouses higher?
What does
Probably
it
'cause
mean
they're
it
more-
messes you up?
It okay. Being sensitive is important to society. People need to be emotional. People need to have feelings. People need to care about what other people think.
Yes.
Not to a degree where you get like socially anxious or whatever, but to a degree that we don't run into the forest naked.
But the thing you're talking about is a byproduct of social stigma. It does not cause the social stigma. And this is where you keep reversing it.
I know. No.
But
I
you've
think
reversed it like
social
3
stigma
times
creates
now.
that. Social stigma creates that. And I think we should keep that. I think what goes against the social stigma is desensitization to violence. I think by desensitizing violence, you're kind of breaking the social stigma.
I think that
Thus
we care.
worsening society.
So, as humans, we just happen to care what other people think about us. We just do. Not
Yes,
all
because we're
animals
social
do
creatures.
this, right? But we
Nope.
do. We
Yeah.
care what other people think about us. So even
we're
if I
social
become
creatures.
destigmatized, or even if I become desensitized to people killing and to death, I still care what other people think about me.
No, because you can change the natural, like biological human brain or whatever.
You can,
but
but
you yourself
you're,
agree to
hold
that.
on, hold on. You're getting into a totally different thing as to whether or not social pressure works on me anymore versus whether or not I find killing to be repulsive. These are two separate things.
I sent you a study, by the way. Zoni, can I just post in? Is there a chat
Well,
here?
read me whatever is.
You
I'm
can
gonna
put it
post
down
it
in
in
voice chat.
Voice chat text.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll read you the part of it. It's not even the abstract. Desensitization to violence, including the pattern of pathological adaptation to violence, has been proposed to increase the risk of subsequent violent behavior. Specifically, the strong negative reactions that exposure to violence normally elicits, such as emotional distress, physiological arousal, and cognitive disapproval, should inhibit the enactment of violent behavior. With repeated exposure to violence, however, these negative reactions diminish through habituation, i.e., desensitization, resulting in less inhibition of violent behavior. At the same time, violence exposure increases the likelihood of violent behavior through other social, cognitive, and behavioral mechanisms, such as observational learning and priming of aggressive behavior. Thus, repeated exposure to violence should increase violent behavior both directly through increasing aggressive behavior and indirectly through diminished negative emotional, cognitive, and physiological reactions to violence that would otherwise inhibit aggression, i.e., through desensitization. That's exactly what I was saying.
Is this the study? I believe I've seen this before. I believe it's bullcrap. Hold on. This
I'll send you another one.
Hold on. Because there was one that was done on like military members, and that's like a whole different thing.
This wasn't done to soldiers.
Right.
Oh, this was emotional desensitization to violence contributes to adolescents' violent behavior. That's the title. Second thing, that's actually true too. Soldiers that go into war and experience like killing people and stuff like that are way less desensitized to it. Which makes them more comfortable with killing people. Why do you think boot camp like fucking
less
breaks you down and
desensitized? No, you mean way
desensitizes you?
more desensitized?
Oh, sorry, way more. Yeah, I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there are things to say that like video games can, violent video games can increase the likelihood of somebody doing something violent.
It just
Yes,
depends
which I
on the
agree with.
person.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
And
but
that's what he's
socially it's
talking about. Is he's
bad.
talking about the
And-
few people who will be affected by it.
No. You're talking about violent video games. This is exposure to violence, which is way worse than violent video. Violent video games already have an effect, but this is even worse because this is real violence you're being exposed to, not just pixels on your screen of like fucking two fucking
But that
6-bit
this
characters
isn't
fighting, 8-bit characters
specifying
fighting.
whether or not it's real or not. This is talking about.
This is desensitization to violence.
Right.
This can be any violence.
Right.
But the more real it looks, the more desensitized you become. I think we can both agree to that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So the effect is even worse.
I mean,
Be
depending
right
on what
back.
you even know what
Taking a bio
real
break.
looks like.
Well,
Because
sure.
seeing enough movies where blood splatters
We're probably
everywhere might
talking
be your
about-
expectation after a while.
We're probably. I think the reality of it would have to be the people themselves, not the actual violence committed on the people. Like how real the people that are being subject to violence look like, or the people actually committing the violence. But this is what I'm
how
talking
real
about.
it seems to the person.
Yeah, or how real the people seem to the person.
Yeah. Well, because see, that's my thing. Is I like I guess eventually I've realized I don't know any of these people. I don't know why I would care. Like, there's people dying all the time, all over the place in gruesome ways.
See,
like,
that's not,
and I
that's
don't
not
ever
good.
care about that either. So,
You
I
probably should.
why?
Because as a society, we need to care about each other. Like,
I
infrahumanization
still care about
is
other people. Like, I care in general,
care
but
about
I don't
them
care about the
less.
individuals.
you care about them less. They're
No,
less
so like if
human to you.
like we talked about this
dehumanized.
earlier. Like I care about like trying to fix systemic racism. It doesn't affect me any. I don't like it doesn't, I don't actually care like in the sense of like how it impacts my own life, but I care about other people in general. I don't care about them as individuals. There's not specific black people that I'm like, oh man, I really want to help this person by fixing systemic racism, right? I don't care about that, but I care about people in general, and black people just happen to be people these days. So I care about them by extension.
Okay. But so do you now agree with me that desensitization probably isn't good since it increases violent behavior, and we probably don't want violent behavior in society?
I will agree that that likely is causal.
Okay.
But I don't. That doesn't mean that I like. That doesn't mean that I actually want to like take it out of media or anything.
That's fine, but that doesn't matter. Okay, I just wanted. That point was way stronger because that's a descriptive thing.
Yeah.
The other one's a prescriptive. So that's
right, but we're arguing over the prescriptive. Your description was supposed to come to a prescription,
I wasn't
and I'm
talking,
saying it doesn't actually change the prescription at all.
No, I don't think we should ban violent video games. I don't think we should
video games, but you think we should ban real violence, and that's what we're talking about. And your
like we have now,
supposed to
like we have now,
help you with that point, and I'm saying it doesn't change the overall point for me.
Wait,
I still don't have an issue.
Therefore, you don't care about violence in society.
That's you can't. That's bullcrap, dude.
If you care about violence in society, you would want to decrease it. Therefore,
I can value other things more. This is like when people are like saying that like Republicans hate women, or they don't value women because they want to outlaw abortion. Like no, they value the fetus.
What value do ISIS beheadings? What value do ISIS beheadings have?
It is
trendy.
It's more so the freedom to be able to do it. That is the thing that I value.
Why?
Because I think that I should have the freedom to do it. If I want to go look at somebody getting their head cut off by ISIS, I should be able to do it. I don't think that I'm fine with it like being taken off of like mainstream stuff, right? So like like YouTube crap like that. But if I want to go,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like a live leak.
Okay.
Just make it as hard as possible.
I think it would make
you have to go out of your way.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to make it illegal, but I think it would make sense for YouTube to ban that stuff or put it in against their TOS.
That's what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about like banning live leak. Like that's hard. That's it. I don't believe in criminalization.
But you were talking about like making it to where they can't put things in like. Well, I guess that's already the case, but you were talking about making it to where they can't put this stuff in like commercials and crap like that as well.
Not only commercials,
like
things that are accessible to the public.
Yeah, so we are talking about like legality. We're not just talking about YouTube's TOS.
Yeah, I'm saying like things that like you would like see very easily. Like live leak isn't an easy thing to find.
How can you draw legislation that would separate live leak from YouTube?
I don't think we have to draw there's no legislation like banning YouTube from banning porn.
Right, but there is from commercials being able to put specific type of images in.
Sure. Okay.
Right, so we're talking about legislation.
Websites that are deemed to have very violent content have a specific rating and thus are penalized by not being able to advertise. Like Google AdSense should ban them, or should only be available on like porn sites or whatever, like websites with the same restrictions, which we already have.
This bitch wants
which that already exists. I don't want a nanny state. I just think people are very fucking stupid and very, 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 very like spongy. Like they will absorb and they will be changed by their content. So I think it is the government's responsibility to help them, you know, just hold their hand a little bit.
Damn, dude, the my poll has changed dramatically. So we have 42 votes. Did you vote? Options yes, no, and I don't live in the United States. Yes is now at 50%. No is at 29%. And I don't live in the US is at 21%. 42 votes. Let's go.
So I got a question for you guys. How about depictions of BDSM?
What about it?
I'll take Lav's take on this. I think it's pretty, like, it's degradation. I don't think it should be easily accessible to.
Yeah, I think
it fucks people up.
So, what do you think is wrong with, what do you think fucks people up with BDSM depictions?
You want to go, Tom, or can I?
Like I said, I don't have an issue. I think you're freaking crazy if you want to ban that sort of stuff. So yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't want to ban
especially since Tom is subscribing to a bunch of BDSM channels.
I don't want to ban BDSM. I'm just saying it's probably not good for people. Okay. It again.
So
creates.
You're pretty much saying though, like you're like by default, you're pretty much saying that you want to murder anybody who does BDSM.
Yes, that's exactly what in a video game. That's exactly what I'm saying. No, I just don't think. I don't think like degradation porn is good. Like it's kind of gross. Not kind of. I think it's disgusting.
Well, that's not degradation porn. I said BDSM. Bondage and SM.
Domination. I think domination's usually kind of degrading.
Not necessarily.
Okay, fine. I think BDSM is bondage is pretty degrading. Tying someone up. I don't know, man. I think I would classify that as pretty degrading. Maybe like dominating someone, as long as it's not degrading, it's fine. You know, I'm pretty whatever. BD, what's S? Sub?
S and M, I think is S. I think SM is S and M.
Oh, sadist and masochist?
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, if it degrades people, I don't think it's good.
That's a pretty broad term.
Yeah, I mean,
like tons of things.
Give me a specific video. Give me a specific video. I'll rate it. I'll tell you whether it's good or not. BDSM is also pretty broad. Like I don't know which one to tell you. I think it's important. I think infrahumanization is based. I think we should look at other humans as humans. The infrahumanization or lack of infrahumanization is where racism comes from. People are racist because they look at other races as not true, and vegans. They look at black people as not human, or white people as not human, or Mexicans as not human. So I think it's crucial for society that all members of the society see each other as human, which means they care about each other and they value each other. Thus, we work as a cohesive society.
Yeah,
so anything that goes against that, that goes against that is probably bad. It doesn't mean it should be banned. We have to do a cost-benefit analysis, and we have to see whether it improves society or it hurts society.
So what are your thoughts on it being depicted on like YouTube and Twitter and such?
BDSM? That's not depicted on YouTube?
Yeah, it is.
What?
Lots of BDSM on YouTube. Kat Black's whole thing is about BDSM, right? She does talks on other stuff as well, especially like social stuff and trans stuff.
I'm talking about like actual videos of it.
Her core content is BDSM talk. No, videos
talk is
too.
different.
There's videos of people being, going through bondage scenarios, as well as there's videos of spanking and stuff like that. Have I shattered your reality?
A little bit of spanking never hurt anybody, okay? But
probably hurt a lot of people.
Just a little bit of it never hurt anybody.
But Tom's response is so good. Probably hurt a lot of people.
I'm saying from like, I mean, that's it. That's my whole litmus test. If it's good for society, it's based. If it's bad for society, it's not based.